This is your weekend market review for Friday, October 20th, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review for Friday, October 20th, 2023. Hopefully you had an amazing week. A lot of us did, as most of you know. Are you surprised? Not so much. We've been pretty much on point with what to expect with this market because of factors that I think a lot of people are in denial about, but that's just the nature of the business. You know, the market's meant to confuse the most amount of people and take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. People seem to be in denial of that, but guess what? We are probability-based traders that try to do what the market's doing and aware of all of the misdirection, confusion, and the absolute jokes that are out there in FinTwit of financial gurus and all these other people who are trying to scrape money off of you versus trying to educate you on how this all works. So, knowing what we know, let's just move right along. We'll get into what to expect for next week, how to play it, and what we're thinking. So, if you're new to the channel, you want to join the Discord room, link in the description below, please do me a favor. Do not join the room and go quiet. If you want to be involved, be involved. If not, my moderators will boot you because when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Be a student, hang out. Let's get to know each other. Let's see how we can help you out. If you just want to go quiet and just kind of follow passively, well, then guess what? That's not really, you can follow passively on YouTube, on Twitter, and all of our various outlets. Again, students ready, teacher appears. That's what we want. So here you go. Watch videos about that. Also, keep in mind, we are going into the first and last 3 business days of the month. Where's this video? So many of them. However, they're all gold nuggets. Gold nuggets. I mean, here's back to earnings season. I mean, there's a lot of good things here that are worth watching. We are in earnings season, so let's just kind of drop that there for a second. What to expect, right? You have earnings blackouts, right? Buyout blackouts, all sorts of fun games. Check out the Back to Basics education series. Also check on Twitter, posting trades. Did anyone take the Costco trade? If you did, leave a comment below. Absolutely destroyed that one. And also too, if you want to check out thetradingagent.com, we have Back to Basics, real estate, daily market reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. If you're worried about your brokerage, please check out Interactive Broker because I think there will be brokers that go out of business. They should survive. In this Back to Basics education series page also goes from more beginner to advanced, and also get your 5.4% at Goldman Marcus account. It's well worth it. All right, this is something that's new, and we talked about this in prior live chats. The odds of a pause are 100%, but now we're starting to see the odds of a cut in 2 weeks. Just keep that in mind. Now, I'm not saying we are, but the market is now getting a little more frantic. We've talked about the odds of a pivot. Is it coming this next meeting? Probably not. But if the market continues to act like complete crap, well, guess what? The odds grow. Bitcoin. Keep an eye on this next level because this area matters. And again, we always talk about technically markets are driven to move in directions, but also have prices in areas that matter, repeating tendencies to act at certain areas. Well, there's clearly support and there's resistance here. So I would be very careful with Bitcoin here. Again, we like when the Feds pivot all in this stuff, but at this point, it's going to be tricky. Again, study the past. We've talked about this. When they pivot, the liquidity's coming in. Right now, they're draining liquidity. Now, I know Bitcoin and gold and certain names are holding up better than other things, but again, just be careful. Be careful. I'm telling you, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. Oil, as we've talked about, watch the next layer of resistance here at 89. Now, if people are expecting oil to go to the moon with geopolitical risks, at some point, I expect oil to go into dirt, drop hard because there's such a thing called demand destruction. Same thing with nat gas. These names can get absolutely extremely volatile. And I've warned people, what's the easiest trade? Try to figure it out and stick to it. And in my opinion, shorting tech is the easiest trade, especially the big 7 where all the money's trying to hide. The dollar, again, holding up in the 20-day. Really nothing to say here. Bonds, TLT. Highest volume ever on the TLT yesterday, aka Thursday, the 19th. Could this be at the bottom? Again, people keep asking me about bonds. What's the easiest trade? Just leave this alone for now. Again, I'd rather be a month late on bonds, then a month early and miss out on other great opportunities in the market. That's how I look at it. And if you're not aware of such, it's just sometimes you got to fold hands that seem okay but aren't the best. So knowing what we know about bonds, what's going on next week, you have obviously some important data coming, right? And it's the week before the Fed meeting. So I personally have thought about this. Go look in Stock Traders Almanac. The first three, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday are seasonally bullish. I'm expecting some down actually to start the week, and then at some point you might get somewhat of a reversal rally if the market gets a little hot, toddy, getting nervous. And then maybe, again, you get like a sharp rally to re-short. That's my opinion. We'll talk about when I show the SPY. The VIX, again, we've talked about holding up. Is it breaking out? I mean, I would not be surprised if it got up to, 23. I mean, put this in your, again, I always do this and take notes. Like VIX somewhere in the 23 to 27 range, 28. Like that would get the Feds probably to start talking about pause, but they wouldn't do it. But it also gets some short covering rallies, in my opinion. SPY, as we talked about, this is a downtrend, folks. It's going to get more aggressive once more people realize it. And we've talked about in previous videos, like that's how it works, right? People don't believe it. Oh, it's not that bad. Then, right? People are like, no, I don't know. Not too bad. Oh, it's not bad. And then, uh-oh. Like it gets worse as more people start to realize the trend. Well, this is clearly a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to stop at the 200-day. I said today in the live chat, doubt it. Well, notice what the market seems to be doing. It seems to be finding support and resistance at VAP zones. This VAP zone was very important. Where's the next one? Right down here. Now people will say, well, what's the exact price? Well, 410, 413, somewhere in that range. That's what I'd look at it. Somewhere in that range. And again, don't bring a ruler. The more you're up, the more the market tanks in a straight line. Don't be surprised. It goes down and then it gets choppy. And it could rally back, or it could just be as we've shown in the past, because again, we're evidence-based traders. You can get this, you get down, you pop a couple days, right? Maybe it just gets choppy for a couple days, right? Like, and if it gets really wild, then it can chop a little longer. But in my opinion, you should be expecting more down. But if you're short, be prepared to take more profits. And I'm saying, and just trade around your positions, because again, the trend is down. That's clear as day. But it's always not going to be straight down. QQQ breaking the low end of the range, that makes sense. 200-day, this is where, again, I think tech is the easiest short. Clear as day, hopefully. IWM, we talked about this, acting like crap. Well, guess what? Here it goes, 52-week low. Right? New low for the year. IWM leads, it's lagging, meaning leading down. Dia. Here you go. Again, another lower high, lower low. Does this make sense why we're like shorts? Clearly. But again, tactically, don't chase. Wait for pops. Don't be scared by counter rallies to short. Gold said, watch this range up here. Because once we got over this, it became clear that we're going to get up here. Okay, now we're starting to get a little tired. Just keep an eye. Again, we like gold and silver long term. I've said that 1,000 times. I just don't want it until the Feds pivot. Silver, same kind of thing. Long wicking. Again, they can get extremely volatile. And sometimes that's the thing. Like, what's the better trade? Leave these things alone. If you're in them, trade around them. GDX, here you go. Another retest and flop a little bit. Remember, the miners will absolutely slaughtered in credit crisis mode in market dumping. Because, again, they're all liquidity based. They're going to be in the stock market, these stocks, right, that are in the GDX. But here's the big problem. If credit tightens up, people will perceive that these companies will not get loans, and then all of a sudden now they can't produce gold and silver, and so they're going to get penalized. And if you go study the past, and I've shown this a million times, go check the monthly, 2008, 2009, COVID stuff, they got absolutely destroyed. AG, we like these names down here at some point. I'm just going to wrap through them. AEM, we talked about it breaking over the channel. Okay, we'll see what happens if it continues. Newmont, this is scary because Newmont is a leader. Look what it did. Hit the 100-day, backing off aggressively. PAAS. Again, just these names are choppy and sloppy. You want to trade them, go right ahead. I just would rather trade big moves versus trying to be tactical on small moves. Again, because then the reward's not worth the risk. Hopefully it's clear. Taiwan Semi, we talked about it popping on its earnings yesterday, giving it all right back. Things that aren't bullish. Micron, a lot of people have been struggling with it, I guess. We talked about it. Move on. There's other better trades. But now you're at the 100-day. That's key. I mean, it's probably going to break at some point, but it's holding up better. So it might be just one of those times where you just pause to like, all right, well, something's wrong, but it's holding up. Maybe they're a buyout target. We don't even know it. Who the hell knows? Maybe someone dumb's maybe Intel's gonna buy them, and then it's when it dumps. Meaning Intel. Who knows? AMD chopping around. Makes sense. 100-day, 200-day. Once that breaks, adios. NVIDIA, we said this is a gift from the gods when it got up. We said once the 120-day broke, you have this gap. I mean, it's ugly. It's just a matter of when, not if. These things dump. Speaking of intellectual property, here you go, breaking the channel. Watch out. 100-day breaks, it is going to open up. SMH, I think a lot of people talking about NH, talking about Eric, talking about the miners on the weekly. They all look bad. Here you go. Channels. Channeling down. Once this breaks, 200-day, easy coming. Adobes, we talked about it. Watch what happens up in the 560s, right? It was long wicking. Double top. Bye-bye. Apple. Not surprised. I mean, I'm confused why people thought that for some reason it's time to unshort Apple. It's like you've got you got lower highs and a channel. Well, I mean, again, you can short cover some and then short pops, but maintain a core position for the love of God. This thing is going down to the 200-day. It's probably going lower. And Tim Cook is going to China this weekend to grovel to them to hopefully beg that they don't trade restrict, since we're going to be restricting chips. Hey, please don't penalize us for selling phones there. And China's going to probably go say, what? Kick dirt, kick rocks, get out of here. And Amazon, talked about it, bounce, 50-day, fail. Again, all these tech names, these big monster tech names, they look like generational shorts in my opinion. CRM, we talked about the 50-day, rejection. Guggenheim, finally, bull trap, look out below. Once it breaks the 20-day, it's probably over. Meta, now just be careful because Google has earnings on Tuesday. Microsoft has it on Tuesday. Remember, we are during earnings, so if you need a hedge, please do. Please do. Microsoft, here you go, 20-day. I mean, this looks like a double top. Microsoft, 335, we talked about it. Keep an eye on it. A lot of these names, again, if they don't move very quickly before earnings, then take your money, move on, let them play out. Who cares? Second mouse gets the cheese, the first one gets the trap. They could gap up, they could gap down. Do not put yourself in a position to get obliterated if you have the wrong side of it. NDAQ, we talked about any rally was a short, gapped up on earnings. Looks like it's just going to give it back. MicroStrategy holding up consistently well, but we'll see. I mean, it's just chopping around. Netflix, warn people like, please don't short this the first thing after earnings. Multi-day rule, like let it play out. I mean, I think at some point it will fail, right? Do we not all agree, right? Netflix is going to fail. Right? I'm writing that down like fail, next Netflix, and chill. But it could be the 3-day rule. It's holding the 50-day. Let it play out, right? Options expiration, probably a lot of puts bought in it, and they just held it up. Roblox watching this level at 32. Tesla, here's a professional gap, right? Like that Netflix was a novice. Like here's the game over. Breaks the channel. Goodbye. 200-day. Adios. Arrivederci. Short all major pops. When I say major pops, right? If it just pops $1, don't just go, I'm going to short it now. Again, it's broken, but it's not going to be always a straight line down. Comprende? Letter X, talk about getting bought out. Don't need to review that. Nucor, here you go. We talked about global growth names. Hits the 100-day. I mean, that's been pretty solid short. 156, straight line move. Caterpillar, you're welcome. We said it's just a matter of time. Look, here you go. People are like, oh, I'm taking profits. And it's like, whoa, once it hit the 50-day and failed, like this is coming down. China's GDP data was an absolute joke, and it was overinflated, and people are starting to realize that. So do yourself a favor. Actually, just here's the VAP zone. Like this thing has no chill in it. Like it's probably coming back down here at some point. I mean, again, it's just the nature of the beast. FedEx, again, another amazing short. We talked about watching the 100-day. Well, actually, we started shorting up here. We said we broke at the channel, right? And then it was like, all right, well, there it goes. And now it chops a little bit. You can trade around it. Now, sometimes it's just the nature of the beast. But if you're going to buy puts, give yourself freaking time. This thing's coming down, right? VALE, global growth names. Again, these are hard, man. And people want to go long them. I know they're cheap, but just leave them alone. Arrow, again, I thought many months ago 15 would probably be a good deal if the market got demolished. Well, guess what? The market hasn't been demolished yet, and it's making lower lows. It looks ugly. CCJ, watch 39 if you're a bull because it could reject. CF, again, we like ag names, but let them throw the baby out with the bathwater. Absolutely pulverize these names. Get them to prices that don't make sense. Get everybody out. Get the market makers all in. Get big money, holding tight, no inventory, and guess what? Then we buy them. AA, another name we talked about. Just let these names come in. I mean, at some point, you need aluminum. XLF, we talked about the holy grail of crosses here in shorting. Look at that. Look at that. So easy a caveman can do it. That was easy. Seriously. JP Morgan, if you shorted this on its earnings pop, I mean, here you go. Here's like the Netflix thing. Like couple days and then here you go. You're welcome. I mean, again, we're posting amazing trades that are working out. Now, again, not all trades work. You can't expect to always win, but so far so good. Morgan Stanley talked about their earnings. Uh-oh. Goldman Sachs, right? We were like, oh, uh-oh. It's already broke the channel. Watch 315. Look what happened. Chop, 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 chop. Broken. Carry, we said this was a matter of time before it got busted. Well, here you go. Making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. That's called a downtrend. And that looks like a professional gap. You're welcome. XBI, we've said this is a name that should show growth. Like, if the market is strong, junior bios usually lead up. Well, they look like crap. And then let's get into solar today. Again, as I've warned folks for months, solar is crap. Subsidies will be going away. Oil demand will drop. It's painful. Look at that. Sedge, we talked about these names. Wait for pops. Well, you didn't even get one. Well, could this be the bottom near term? Probably, because it's absolutely gotten destroyed like we talked about. Just they probably go lower in time, but just leave them alone. Remember we talked about the Sedge or ENPH? We were like, this is dangerous. These names are going to get cooked. Well, and then it's like, the CEO is going to buy some shares. Well, great. He buys 1,000 shares. Everyone gets all excited. Yeah, he sold all of his not all, but he sold most of his shares up here, and now he buys 1,000 and gets people excited. Game over. First Solar, they had some decent news today, but it couldn't even hold up. Again, I would be watching for pops to short these names. We talked about HYG, right? Keep an eye on this. Look, making new lows. Corporate debt looking ugly. Put this trade on Costco today. Hopefully, folks who are paying attention took it, hammered it, home run. We said, look at this. We have a rolling choppy top. You have now a double top. And once it broke the 20-day, what did I say? It's probably going to get slaughtered. Well, the CEO today left, and that's, again, started the trade today. I was like, it's just popping a little bit, even better. Let me remove this. Once the CEO's, why is the CEO leaving? Is business about to get bad? And they're replacing him with a forklift operator. Yikes. Yikes. Shakies. I mean, I don't know how you want to draw the trend, but it's breaking. See this? Goodbye. And I'm talking about it's going to head lower for the South. Let's get into oil and gas names. Because again, look at the USO. As we warned you, it's going to be volatile, guys. Gals, friends out there, be careful. UNG, just acting like UNG things, pops and comes right back. XOP, talked about you could add drip up here. Drip in the line, low nines. Here you go. Again, oil service. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. ExxonMobil posted this trade. 113, 114 area. Here you go. Buying PXD, right? Don't even need to look at it. Valero. We talked about watch pops on these names. Here you go. 20-day, 50-day. MPC. We said this one was acting really well, but I would be curious to see what happens when it hit the 154. And look at that. Again, we draw these lines for a reason because they matter. Occidental. We're up into the what? The Buffett sell zone. And we'll end it with EQT and Flex LNG. We said 44s. Look at this. These matter. The zones matter. This is why we chart this stuff. We don't use exact lines. We draw zones. We use VAP zones and zones. Flex LNG, again, I think long-term, the U.S. is a natural gas exporter. Congress has been loading up on this stock on the side. They have a nice dividend yield. I think they'll do all right in the long term. If you're new and, again, need help, please use the Calendly link. Reach out. I'm here to help you guys. I appreciate all the love, support, the generous donations. You guys who are donating, it melts my heart. I really appreciate it. And if you're not and you don't want to, again, energy is what it is. Hopefully I can help you out and make you feel like in time that you're getting the value out of this channel, because it's a lot. I know I spend a lot of time trying to keep people informed. This is also, this is kind of a hobby. I have to trade my own things. I have my real estate business. I love helping you guys. So again, I appreciate all the love, support, the comments, the likes, the comment, just anything anything to give feedback. I appreciate it. So, if you have any real estate needs, again, please reach out. I hope I can help you with anything. At this point, have an amazing weekend and be thoughtful. Remember, early next week, probably down with a little up to come, or we pop a little earlier in the week and then down. Just be prepared, though. If you were short and you've got large all-in positioning in the short, you might want to take some profits off the next drop so that you can layer in on a pop. All right. I appreciate everybody. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.